A very good morning, my dear students. Today we will discuss the rest portion of chapter 7 and we will start from the Anglo-Mysore War. Okay, so let's talk about the first Anglo-Mysore War. Hyder Ali was the ruler of Mysore. He defeated the British forces in the year 1769 and after that a treaty was signed between them to restore peace. By this treaty, the British promised Hyder Ali that in any case, if Hyder Ali would be attacked by any other power, then the British would help him. But when the Marathas invaded the territories of Hyder Ali in the year 1779, the British did not help him. So this naturally offended Hyder Ali. At the same time, the French offered to extend a helping hand to Hyder Ali. In 1779, the British they captured Mahe, and in this way, a war was started with Hyder Ali again in the year 1780. Hyder Ali, one after another, inflicted defeat on the British armies in the Carnatic and forced them to surrender in large numbers. He occupied the whole of Carnatic soon by defeating the British armies. Now let's talk about the second Anglo-Mysore War. In 1781, Hyder Ali was defeated at Porto Novo by Sir Ayar Kutty. Then in the year 1782, Hyder Ali got death. After his death, the war was continued by his son Tipu Sultan. The second Anglo-Mysore War was carried on by Hyder Ali's son Tipu Sultan. To restore peace between this two party, there was means there was a treaty, and that was signed between English and the Mysore in the year 1784, and that treaty was known as the Treaty of Mangalore. By this treaty, both sides restored all territories conquered. Now, our next topic is Third Anglo-Mysore War. In this war, Lord Cornwallis defeated Tipu Sultan, and then Tipu Sultan was compelled to sign the Treaty of Srirangapatnam. Under this treaty, he had to give a large sum of money to the British community, and a large part of his kingdom also he had to give to them. The British took away two of Tipu Sultan's sons as their hostages after the Third Anglo-Mysore War. Lord Wellesley came India in the year 1798. He was the Governor General of India, and during the time of his Governor Generalship, the British were locked in a life and death struggle with France all over the world. By 1799, the British army attacked and defeated Tipu Sultan in the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Before the French assistance could reach him, he met a hero's end while defending his capital Srirangapatnam. His army remained loyal to him to the very end. Now, after the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, half of Tipu Sultan's dominions were divided between the British and their ally, the Nizam. Then Mysore was restored to the descendants of the original Raja from whom Hyder Ali had seized the power. Okay, then the British made Mysore totally dependent on the company. Now, our last topic of this chapter is the subsidiary alliance that was introduced by Lord Wellesley. Subsidiary alliance was a method to subjugate Indian powers without the cost and bother of any war. Any Indian ruler whose security was threatened, was encouraged to seek help from and enter into an alliance with the British, who promised to protect the ruler from external attacks and as well as internal revolts. The Indian ruler had to accept certain terms and conditions. This arrangement was known as the subsidiary alliance. Okay, now let's talk about the terms and conditions of the subsidiary alliance. Okay, one by one. British troops would be permanently placed in the territory of the subsidiary state. The Indian ruler would have to pay for the maintenance of the troop. He had to keep a British official at his court. He could not employ any Europeans in his service or dismiss those who were already there. He could not form an alliance with any other power or declare war against any power without the permission of the British. He would acknowledge the British Company as the paramount power. This subsidiary alliance was very profitable to the British. They could now maintain a large army at the cost of the Indian states. So that is very beneficial for the British. Okay, Lord Wellesley, he signed his first subsidiary treaties with the Nizam of Hyderabad in the year 1798. Then the Nawab of Awadh also was forced to sign the subsidiary treaty in the year 1801. Okay, Raja of Mysore also had to accept the special treaty of subsidiary alliance. Wellesley forced a new treaty in the year 1801 upon the Nawab of Carnatic. Also, they were compelled to cede, means the Nawab of Carnatic was compelled to cede his kingdom to the company in return for a pension. So in this way, the British were in ascendancy in the south. So that's all for this chapter, students. Thank you.